Hey everyone, this is Ryan on Open RSC, and today I'm going to be going over something that I meant to go over a while ago, but I guess I just never did. Today we're going to be, let me get rid of this. Today we're going to be looking at the Christmas event I did last year, and kind of going over it. I'll walk you through it and talk about some of the design decisions we made and everything that we being Aurora and I, we worked on this one like we usually work on the events. The reason I'm doing this now is because we probably won't be able to get a Christmas event out this year. At least her and I, maybe Log will do one, I don't know. But anyways, I wanted to have something for you, so I thought I would go back over this event because I did intend to make a video with this at some point, but I guess I just never did. Anyways, so to get started, this mini quest or event or whatever is called a Lumbridge Carol, and to start it you just talk to Duke of Lumbridge here. And now we have this fourth option, which we don't normally have. So I'm going to say, "You look like you haven't slept." And he says, "I haven't. I've been up all night." And then we can say, "What happened?" "The strangest thing happened. 3 spirits came to visit me during the night. I'm not even sure if it was real or a bad dream. Can you help me figure this out?" And then you can either say, "Spirits, that's too scary for me," or you can say, "Sure, what do they want?" Now, this is something that I've been trying to do with a lot of my quests and events, which is a lot of the quests that Aurora and I write have they're pretty story heavy, which I think is good for RuneScape. Although in Classic, it's kind of unfortunate because you're locked to the dialogue, right? In later RuneScape versions, you can just get through the dialogue as quick as you want. In this game, you're stuck here with about almost 2 seconds in between each dialogue line, right? And so I like to give players the opportunity to back out early or accept the quest early, so that way they don't have to sit through the whole story dump, maybe if they decide, "Oh, I actually don't want to do this story," right? Because if he tells me his whole story and then I say, "Oh, I don't want to do this right now," and then I leave and come back, he's gonna have to tell me his whole story again. So by giving them an option to back out early before he tells you his story, what that means is that if the player decides, "Oh, I don't want to do this right now, this sounds like a quest," or I can set quest stages so that they only ever have to hear his long story once or hear it again if they want to. Anyways, sure, what did they want? I don't know what they want exactly, but they did show me things. Each ghost had a different vision for me. I wrote down my experiences in this journal. Take a look and talk to me again when you've read it. So this is one of the new items that we added. I'll go over some of the other items in a minute, after we do the quest. However, I did just reuse a sprite from one of the other items in the game. If I can get away with doing that, I'll typically try to do that just to save development time. And, this looks like a journal. It's a book. It's fine. So when you read it, you open the Duke's journal. Which page would you like to turn to? And you have an option to go to 3 different pages. So we'll just read through. I'll read each of these to you. So if we go to page 1, it says, "Tonight I was visited by 3 spirits. The first spirit told me that his name was Praeteritum." Yeah, sorry, these Latin names are crazy. "He then showed me a vision of a Christmas from my past. I remember it well. It was the Christmas that I lost the love of my life. I was young and stupid. She wanted me to spend time with her and her family, but I was too concerned with my dukedom and riches, and I turned her away. I broke her heart, and she never came around again." So you actually don't have to read through all of these, so people that don't care about story, they can just talk to the Duke again and it'll keep going. I do think you have to look at the journal at least once, but I don't think, if I remember right, you don't actually have to open a page for it to count as having looked at his journal. I think you just have to click on it once and then he'll talk to you about the next stage. Anyways, the second spirit said that his name was Praesens. He showed me a vision of a man that I recently banished from Lumbridge. I kicked him out because he ruined Thanksgiving dinner. He forgot to buy ingredients for the pie. Apparently, he is now living as a tramp in Varrock. So there's a couple things with this one. Actually, I'll talk about it later. We'll read the third story first. But yeah, there's a couple things with that one that I want to bring up in a minute. Alright, so page 3. The third and final spirit told me that his name was Futurum. The vision he had for me was the strangest of all. It seemed to be a vision of the future. In the vision, it was Christmas time like it is now. The ghost showed me a man. He was living at home, still with his elderly mother and her cats. You could tell they did not have much money. I didn't recognize the man, so I asked the spirit who he was. The ghost told me that this man was Shillip. I was astonished to see that the young lad had grown up to be so miserable. Why, just the other day the young lad had come all the way down from Varrock. He asked me for a quest and some gear to get him started with adventuring. Of course, I told him that he was being ridiculous. I told him that adventuring was not a life he should be pursuing. I had Hans take him back home. So yeah, now that we've read the book, we'll go ahead and talk to the Duke again. And we can say, I've read your journal. I probably should have showed you what he says if you haven't read the journal, but oh well. Too bad. I read your journal. So what do you think? And then you have a couple options here. You can either say, I don't know, I'll think about it some more, which, just ends the dialogue. Or you can say, I think the spirits want you to make amends. Now that you mention it, I think you're right. I guess I had forgotten to write this down after my long night, but the third spirit did show me another vision. He showed me a headstone, cracked and overgrown. I looked at the name on the stone, and it was my own. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, that was an accident. The spirit told me I will live out my days alone and die alone. I do not want my life to turn out like that. I guess I have not been so kind to some of the people in my life. It would be best to make amends. Would you help me? And then we'll say, sure. Excellent, thank you. We can work through this one vision at a time. Firstly, I need to make amends for the past. I treated my love so poorly. Yeah, sounds like you were a jerk. I know. We can write a letter. And then I'll say, we. And he says, you're right. You should do it. Here is some parchment. The Duke hands you some parchment. Okay, so now we have some parchment. Oh, when you're done, talk to me again. I can tell you where she lives so you can deliver it. So we'll actually talk to him again this time so we can see what he says. Oh, he doesn't say anything actually. So yeah, now you can use the write option. You find a quill and ink bottle nearby on the ground. That's lucky, as you begin to write an apology letter as if it were from the Duke. Oh, rarely have words poured from your penny pencil or quill with such feverish fluidity. Before long, you have written a beautiful and heartfelt apology letter. If you recognize where that was from, the rarely have words poured from my penny pencil with feverish fluidity, leave it in the comments and I will heart your comment. Anyways, I have finished writing the letter. Excellent. Can you deliver it for me? And then you say, don't you want to read it over? Do I need to? He says. I'm sure you've done just fine. The woman you're looking for still lives here in Lumbridge. She actually lives just outside the castle courtyard. Her house is right next to Bob's axes. So let's talk to him again really quick. So this is something that... Actually, let me explain this first. Let's actually go see who he's talking about. We won't talk to her yet. So, a couple things. This is a Cabbage-specific NPC. You won't find her in real RuneScape. And let's go look at her. So, we'll just walk over here, and here she is. I don't know why she's out of her house. She shouldn't be able to wander out of her house. I'll have to look at her wander range and see what's up. Anyways, this is Mum. If you right-click her, the greatest woman in the world. Kind of a fun fact about Mum, I actually gave her 99 strength because moms are pretty strong individuals. Anyways, she's supposed to be your mom. In fact, I actually did an update along with this where, I don't want to talk to her right now, where depending on your player's skin color, it actually changes her skin color. Which I thought was pretty cool, so that way she does look like your mom, you know? Actually, let me see if I can do that on this character. Nope, I can't. Okay, I'm gonna make my character an admin. This is annoying that I have like no commands. Okay, so here we are back in the game. Let me see, change appearance. Yep. So now if I change my skin color, you can see that Mom's skin color changes too. And this is, of course, specific to the individual player. So if someone else has like green skin or whatever, it will be that way. Anyways, let me change my character back to how I was. There we go. Okay, anyways, more about this character. So why is she here? Essentially, what you can do is she kind of has her own mini quest called Mom's Assistant. And basically, it's a spin-off of Cook's Assistant. You just do the same thing, except for instead of dough, eggs, and milk, you get her, I think it's tomatoes, cheese, and pizza dough. And once you do that, she'll give you infinity pizza bagels, where they don't heal a lot, and you have to go through a little bit of dialogue every time you want to get one, so they aren't like a super overpowered food source or anything. Like, I think they only heal like 5 hits or something, so they're pretty weak as far as their healing potential goes. It's just kind of a little for fun thing. In fact, though, I think most of the people that play RuneScape Classic Cabbage don't actually understand the reference here. You might think you do because, you know, I think it's a pretty common joke that RuneScape players live in their mom's basements and they enjoy having their mom make them pizza bagels or whatever. And that's kind of like the high level joke that I think anyone can get. But if you've been around in the community long enough, there's kind of an incident that happened where this is actually kind of more referential to that incident. I'm not going to go over it here, but maybe ask me in the Discord or something and I'll let you know. We can talk about what happened. Anyways, so yeah, basically the Duke used to date your mom. The funny thing is that a lot of players might miss her because in the original game, you know, that character isn't there. Usually you'd have no reason to go down there and, you know, oops, I went up too high, and look at those houses. And so, you know, some players might not realize that that's supposed to be their mom, but if you do realize that, you can actually talk to the Duke here about the apology letter before you deliver it, and you can say, where can I find the recipient again? Or you can say, wait a minute, the house you're describing is my mom's house. Did you date my mom? And then it says the Duke's face turns red, but he doesn't say anything. So yeah, just kind of a little for fun thing. I know I just went on like a 5-minute tangent to describe one little line of dialogue or whatever. Oh, I just insta-killed that goblin, whoops. But yeah, maybe I did make it so she can wander out of her house because she's wandering pretty far. Anyways, hello, sweetie. I hope your adventuring is going well. You can say, did you used to date the Duke? Mom's face turns red. Yes. Many years ago, while you were off adventuring, I was lonely and he kept me company. But I left when I realized that he cared more for his title and riches than me. I haven't spoken to him since. And then you can either say, I need to go think about this, or you can give her the letter. I have a letter for you. You hand the letter to your mother. She reads it and starts to cry. This is very sweet. I don't think I could ever get back together with the Duke, but this is a very thoughtful gesture, and I appreciate it. Will you tell him that for me? So I think after this, yeah, you don't have a dialogue option with her anymore about it. If you do the hello mother, how are you today, that starts the one other mini quest I was talking about, but maybe that'll be for a different video, even though that video would probably only be like 5 minutes long. Alright, so let's go. Oh, that's not the Duke. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyways, I delivered your letter. Excellent. He says that a lot. What did she say? She said that she appreciated the gesture, but she doesn't think she could get back together with you. That's fine. I'm trying to make amends, not court your mother. I'm glad she liked my letter, though. So you might have noticed by now, kind of have all these options where you can either just go along with the Duke's BS, or you can kind of call him out on it. But either way, they both progress the quest. It's just if you use the options to call him out, you get a couple extra lines. So depending on how confrontational you want to be, you can get extra lines. Well, I was the one that wrote the letter. Oh, yes, of course. Anyways, see, he just kind of blows past it. Next, we should help the old cook. I guess I did sack him rather hastily. You should go find him in Varrock and offer him his old job back. I wouldn't mind having 2 cooks around here. Fortunately, you'll probably find him in some alleyway begging for money. I've heard he's living as a tramp now. Alright, so we will go to Varrock. I will just teleport there. I don't know why my cap locks is on. Let me turn that off. But yeah, we'll head over to the tramp. In the later RuneScapes, I think he's referred to as Charlie. I can't remember if he actually ever gets referred to Charlie in RuneScape Classic. So I'm pretty sure in all the dialogue we just call him Tramp here. So yeah, he has all his regular options, but he has this extra one. I have a job offer for you. A job, eh? He says. Do you need me to take care of someone for you? Because that'll cost you quite a lot. What? No? Why would you assume that's what I meant? I don't know. The Duke of Lumbridge wants to offer you your old job back. That'll get... Why the bloody hell would he want to do that? Practically threw me out the door, he did. And then you have a couple options here. You can either say a spirit told him to make amends for wrongs he's done, or you can say, do you want the job or not? I'm gonna choose option 1 because I think it gives you a little bit more dialogue. Oh, did he now? Well, forget about him. He can stay doomed for all I care. No way I'm going back to that old job. You can tell the Duke to take his offer and stick it. Especially after what I found out after I left. I wouldn't have lasted much longer anyways. You ever wonder why those goblins are always holding on to so many chef's hats? I actually feel sorry for the poor bloke that's working there now. Hope he keeps an eye out while walking home. Yeah, it's safer here in this alleyway. Well, alright then. Say, you know what though? I could actually use your help. I've got a job interview coming up and I need help to get some new clothes. My boots are all worn out, so I'll need a new pair of those. And I think a yellow cape would look good. Could you find me those? Then we can say sure. Thanks, mate, he says. Alright, so a couple things. First of all, I can talk about all the layers of this. So if you've ever played RuneScape before, one of the very first quests you'll probably do is called Cook's Assistant, where you help the Lumbridge cook in the castle. I talked about this a minute ago. Make a cake and you just have to bring him some things because it's the Duke's birthday and he forgot to make the cake. And so this is kind of in reference to that, whereas this guy used to be the cook apparently, but he did forget to make the Thanksgiving pie, and so he got thrown out, right? And so then the second thing is the whole thing about wondering why the goblins have the chef hats. So the implication, right, is that the castle goes through a lot more cooks than you would maybe think because of all those goblins. Last thing is that the cape here, the color you're supposed to get him is randomized. There's 6 different colored capes you can have in this game. You have to dye them by getting dyes from the witch and drainer, and then you need a pair of boots. So I think you can just get boots at the clothes shop up here, if I remember correctly. I think the Thalia here sells them. Yeah, so there's some boots. So what I'll do is, I guess I'll just spawn me some boots, and I'll spawn me the cape. And then we'll go talk to him. So yeah, normally for a regular player, obviously this would send them off on like a mini side quest to go get the dyes and to get the boots and everything. It shouldn't take too long if you're familiar with the game. I can't remember what he says if you don't have the clothes yet, actually. So let's drop the cape and see. About the clothes. What did you need again? How thick are ya? I need a new pair of boots and a yellow cape. Okay, so one thing, he'll remember what color cape you're supposed to get him. If you actually say no, though, to his request to get him some clothes. It actually changes the cape color every time because I, generate the random cape color right before he says that line. So I guess if you didn't like your cape color, you could just say no, that you wouldn't help him and then talk to him again and again. But you do have to sit through his entire story about getting fired and everything. So yeah, probably not worth it. Anyways, about the clothes, I have what you asked for. Good stuff, mate. Give 'em here if you would. You hand the tramp the clothes. You've done me a great service, you have. I can't remember. I don't think we can talk to him about it anymore. Yeah, so that option goes away. All right, one more thing I just remembered. We're going to detour a little bit before we go back to the Duke. We're actually going to go to Falador because I want to show you this. If you come into this pub here, I can't remember what it's called, and try to go up these stairs, you can't go up there right now, she says. We're preparing for a private event. Normally, you can go up these stairs and there's just an empty room up here. But while the Christmas event is active, yeah, she blocks you from going up there. And you'll see why in a little while. But anyways, let's go back and talk to the Duke. All right, so let's get to talk to him. I found your old cook. Oh, good. So will he be coming back here to cook? No. He said that he's fine where he's at. I did help him get ready for a job interview he has coming up. Okay, good. So we were able to help him. That should make the second spirit happy. Before you can interrupt, the Duke continues. Now there's only one more person to help out. Can you head back to Varrock and find Shillip? Perhaps there's something we can help him with. If you don't know who Shillip is, I think you can ask him. What am I doing again? Need to head to Varrock and see if we can help Shillip with anything. Oh, I guess he doesn't tell you who Shillip is. So yeah, I guess this is another one of those instances where you have to have game knowledge. But anyways, there's these two kids here, and one of them is Shillip. Hello there, youngster. I don't know what you want from me. I didn't do nothing. The Duke of Lumbridge asked me to come find you. He felt bad for sending you away the other day. Oh, that guy? Yeah, he's a jerk. All I wanted was some stuff to get started adventuring, but he just had some grown-up bring me back here. And then we'll say, well, maybe I could help you out. What do you need to start adventuring? What I really need is something to slay monsters with. Are you sure your mum is okay with that? Yeah, she says it's fine. I'm away from home so much that it'll be good if I can protect myself. And then we can say, well, alright, if you say so. What did you have in mind? I like how your character just goes along with it. Could you bring me a bronze dagger? I think that might work. So yeah, now we're gonna go get him a bronze dagger, which I will just get right here. Come back. Do you have the bronze dagger yet? Yeah, I have it right here. You hand him the bronze dagger. Hooray! Shillip holds the bronze dagger and swings it around for a bit. He suddenly doesn't seem as pleased. What's wrong? This is much too small, he says. I won't be able to protect myself with this. You should bring me a bronze longsword instead. That would be much better. And then you can say, can I have my dagger back? And he says, oh, I'll hang on to it. I needed something to spread jam on my bread. So that's kind of a reference to RuneScape 2, I think. I can't remember if he says it in this game, but the combat instructor in RuneScape 2 says that your bronze dagger is closer to like a butter knife or something like that. Anyways, you say, all right, I'll be back. So let's get him a bronze. Oh, he says, well, I'll be waiting here. Actually, let's talk to him first if we don't have what he wants. Do you have the bronze longsword yet? No, not yet. Actually, I think that's all it says. Okay. Bronze longsword. Do you have the bronze longsword yet? Yes, I have it right here. You hand Shillip the bronze longsword. Hooray! Shillip tries to lift the longsword to swing it, but it's too heavy. He suddenly doesn't seem as pleased. What's wrong? This is too heavy. I can't even swing this. You should bring me a bronze short sword instead. That would be much better. And then, you can save the same stuff, basically. Can I have my long sword back? Oh, I'll hang on to it. I'll grow into it someday. And then we'll say, alright, I'll be back. Item. I think it's just called a bronze sword, actually. Oh, maybe it is short sword? Yeah, okay, it is short sword. Do you have the bronze short sword yet? Yes, I have it right here. You hand Shillip the bronze short sword. Hooray! Shillip holds the bronze short sword and swings it around for a bit. He looks very pleased. This is just right. I'll be able to slay tons of monsters with this. Thanks a lot, adventurer. I'm glad you like it. Don't poke your eye out. Another reference to the same place where I got my last one from. Maybe that's actually too big of a hint, though. Alright, here we are back with the Duke, and this time you say, I helped out Shillip. Excellent. Then it sounds like I'm done. I'm sure those spirits will be happy now. And then you say, you didn't do anything. All the people that the spirits have mentioned have been helped. I don't really think it matters who actually did the helping. Besides, I was the one that was telling you to do it. So yeah, now we can say, don't you want to know what happened? He says no. I'm sure you helped him out just fine. And then we'll say, so what now? And he says, this whole ordeal has really gotten me in the Christmas spirit. Haha, spirit, get it? Anyways, I think I want to throw a big Christmas party. I think I'll invite everyone we helped today. From what the spirits showed me, it looks like a lot of them could use the Christmas cheer. And with the look that you're giving me, looks like you could too. So you're invited as well. The party will be at the Rising Sun Inn in Falador on the first floor. I hope to see you there. So if you aren't aware, this game was made in the, UK, and they use a different convention to us here in the me, I guess, here in the Americas, where this is the ground floor, and this is the first floor. So yeah, we just chucked every NPC up here that you helped out during the quest, so we'll talk to all of them in a minute. Let's talk to the Duke. Hello and welcome to my Christmas party. Listen, on my way over here, I was thinking about how much you helped me today, and so I wanted to repay your kindness. And then you can say one of these. You don't have to do that. And he says, no, I insist. So I thought I would make sure you got something nice. When I sent your mother her invite, I asked her to bring you something. She says she would have brought it anyways, but I'm pretty sure she would have forgot if it weren't for me. So you're welcome. And then you say, thanks. I can't remember if you talk to him again. I think he just says the same things. Oh, he just says hello and welcome to my party. Okay. So now, yeah, we can talk to Mom. She says, hi, sweetie. I hope you're having a lovely time. I've heard from these people that you did a lot of really nice things today, so I made you a Christmas present. Here you go. Your mom hands you a hand-knitted Christmas sweater. I hope to see you wearing it for the rest of the party. It'll keep you nice and warm. Congratulations, you have completed a RuneScape Carol. Oh. Apparently it's RuneScape Carol? In the code, I think I called it a Lumbridge Carol. I guess I don't remember what the title actually is. Anyways, so yeah, you get a nice little Christmas sweater, which looks like this. I'll talk about it more in a minute, but yeah, let's talk to the other NPCs here and see what they say. Oh, this is the bartender. We don't need to talk to the bartender. Okay, your mom says, hi, sweetie. I see you're wearing the Christmas sweater I knitted you. I hope it's keeping you nice and warm. I forgot to tell you earlier that the material I used is great for dyeing. So if you wanted a different color, you could dye it yourself. Re-dye it yourself. If we talk to her without the sweater, hi, sweetie. You aren't wearing your Christmas sweater? Oh, I knew I should have made you something else. Your mom looks a bit sad. So yeah, Definitely want to wear your sweater when you talk to her. Then we'll talk to, I think the Duke just says the same thing. I think he just says hello and welcome to my Christmas party. So we'll talk to the tramp instead. Boy, mate, thanks again for the help with those clothes. Fortunately, on my way to the interview, I was jumped by some mugger and he took my cape. And then the interviewer told me I didn't dress professionally enough for the job. So you'll probably see me around the alleyways, but that's all right. It's not a bad life, it is. Alright, and then we've got the kid here. Hello! If you're wondering where my sword is, my mom took it. I might have accidentally poked one of her cats. She said I could have it back after New Year's, though. And then lastly, we have all the ghosts here, which I'm sure you're probably wanting me to talk to. So these are the Christmas spirits. So if you examine them, this one is the ghost of Christmas past. So we'll talk to him and we'll say, who are you? And he'll say, I am the ghost of Christmas past. People do not throw Christmas parties like they used to. Now the Christmas parties in the Second Age, those were where it was at. All right. And then we'll say, is the Duke still doomed? And he will say, well, he was. He didn't really seem to learn anything, and you did all the work, of course. But then he invited us to this party, so we'll let him slide. The friends he makes here today will stick around for a long time. Alright, and then we'll talk to the ghosts of Christmas presents. If you ask any of them about the Duke still being doomed, they'll say the exact same thing, but the who are you yields a different option. I'm the ghost of Christmas present. That's present as in the current time, not presents as in gifts. People get that mixed up all the time. And then, where's the future guy? Here he is. Who are you? I am the ghost of Christmas future. Would you mind getting me some eggnog? What's eggnog? Oh yeah. They haven't invented that yet. Well, you'll have something to look forward to on future Christmases. Alright, so yeah, and then as long as the event is active, you can talk to them about all the Christmassy stuff. So, a couple other things I want to go over before we end this off. So first of all, like it was shown, you can use the dyes on the sweaters to re-dye them. And if you examine them, they say knitted with love. Now, if you wear them, they're actually kind of cool. The little pattern here, like watch as I walk. You can see that the snowflakes the little snows kind of move a little bit. I will be honest with you, that wasn't 100% intentional, but it does look cool. It's just, it would have been very, very difficult for Aurora. She's the one that did all the sprites for this. I'll talk about that in a minute. It would have been very difficult for her to line up the snows on each of the different animation frames. And plus, I think it just looks kind of nice anyways with the snow moving around as you walk. Next thing I wanted to do is I can't remember if Mom says anything if you're wearing the sweater over here. No, she doesn't. But I think if we drop our sweater, she should have an option for us to get a new one. Yeah, I've lost my Christmas sweater. He says, oh dear. That's okay. Luckily, I've made you a spare. Your mom hands you a new Christmas sweater. Don't forget that the materials can be dyed very easily. Stay warm. So now I have 2 Christmas sweaters thanks to the old RSC dupe. And yeah, they're each different items. Thankfully, even though they're all different items, Aurora did only have to draw the sweater twice. And the reason for that is because you can actually just recolor sprites through code by just using color masks. So what you do is you just make the sprite white, basically, and then you can, mask over it with different colors to get other colors that you want. So you only have to draw one set of sprites, which is kind of nice. It saves some time. And so if you were to actually open this sweater up in like a paint editing program and look at the color of the white fluff around the edges and the snowflakes, they're actually more of a cream color instead of white, because Same thing for the Santa hat, actually. You know, the one that's comes with RSC or was originally in the game. Because like I said, if something's white, it gets recolored when you use the color mask. But if you use just like a very off cream color, it still looks white in the game, right? Like this definitely looks white, but it doesn't get overwritten by the color mask. So you can still have white stuff in your sprites while using the color mask to totally recolor the rest of the sweater. It did make it really hard for Aurora when she was doing them though, because she was basically coloring with or drawing with white on white, right? So I think she actually drew the sweaters as a color, you know, like red, and then just made them white before sending them over to me so I could put them in the game. However, I will say, and you should all go tell Aurora thank you if you like the sweater, because it did take her like all day to make them. You have to remember that each clothing item in this game has 15 frames of animation. One for walking this way. Come on, go diagonal. Why won't my guy go diagonal? Whatever. One for walking this way, this way, this way, and this way. And then there's 3 extra frames for combat. And then you don't have to do frames this way, right? Because you just mirror it. But anyways, that's 15, or maybe it's not 15, maybe it's 18. It's between 15 and 18. I can't remember off the top of my head. So that's like 18 individual pictures she had to go in and draw snowflakes on. She made the sweater by modifying the wizard robe. So if I grab the wizard robe and I switch to it, you can kind of see that they look the same. She just trimmed down the, you know, like the cuffs or whatever, and then added the fluff and everything, made them a little less bulky. And then also on top of making this sweater, you'll notice that I'm now a female character. Let me grab a new sweater. She also made a version of the sweater for women. You'll notice that this one's a lot more trimmed down. Actually, let me go grab my other one and we can compare. And I can switch between them. You'll notice that the male one is a lot bulkier, especially in the body and the sleeves. So yeah, the one for ladies is a lot slimmer. So she had to go through again on the same 18 images and trim them down. And again, we did this like, I don't know, like a couple days before Christmas, maybe. It was like either Christmas Eve or it was like the day before or something. And it took her most of the day. So yeah, if you like the sweater, definitely tell her thank you because she put a lot of effort into it. And then we also added 2 extra items. Actually, did we add the black party hat for this? I think we just moved the black party hat from the presents to the Christmas cracker, actually. So this might have already been in the game, but we did add the pink Santa. So looks nice. You wanted a pink Santa hat instead of a red one. And then Cabbage also has a green one from past years. So anyways, that's going to do it for my video here. We aren't going to look at any of the code because I don't think there's anything particularly interesting with this one besides the quest itself. And I am pretty sure that I went over everything that there was to show. I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, again, if we don't end up, I'm recording this way before Christmas, by the way, but if we don't end up doing a Christmas event, Aurora and I apologize. Hopefully we did end up doing the Halloween event and that one was good. But anyways, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll be able to keep coming out with new updates and events for you and everything. Anyways, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye!